Hey, welcome back everyone. So in this one I'll be drawing Conquest from Invincible, and I want to talk about why we should probably not critique our own art, or at least not take that as the entirety of the critique. So obviously we should try to propel ourselves to be better by looking at our work objectively if we can. Sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds, and then making the adjustments as we go. Now, what happened here is I was feeling good about this artwork and I didn't flip it. And I knew I should, but I was like, I'm going to try to fix this as I go with like a center line, triangular shapes across the face, and I should be able to gauge the rest pretty well from there. And I was mistaken. By the time I flipped it later on in the video, I was like, it was like a rude awakening. I was like, whoa, this is not as good as I thought, and I'm kind of discouraged now. But whatever, that happens. I think a part of it is being unrealistic about what it is we're drawing, or just not being able to see it. So for me, I feel like it's really a thing where I can't see it until it's flipped. And even then, I miss things. And this is the part where we have to be careful to not be the only voice in judging our own work. I feel that there's times you also want to shut that off. That's difficult to say because if you want to get better, you have to realize that your artwork might not be as good as you think, but at the same time, it can't be a point where it discourages you and you stop drawing. That's just silly. So you have to have like a nice balance, a nice mixture of, okay, maybe my art's not as good as I think, but at the same time, I love what I do and I want to get better. So I'm going to keep an open mind to good insight. Not all insight is good, by the way. So what I did is I was like, as soon as I flipped it, I realized it kind of turned to mush, and I did the same skewing thing that I'm known to do. I don't know why I do it. I don't know if it's a vision problem. I don't know if it's me tilting my head funny. I'm even using, just so you know, I'm using my art table now. So it's at a nice increased angle. I might try to increase it even more so it's parallel to my view. But I move around a lot when I'm drawing, kind of like that. So I'm probably tilting my head funny. Who knows what I'm doing? Holding the pencil funny. Any number of scenarios that I need to figure out. But all I know is I can't see it until I flip it. And even still, like I said, I tend to miss things. So that's where sharing the work and getting that opinion is great. Now, you could say, well, I don't like sharing it and getting critiques because then it doesn't make me as excited about my work. I like to just do my thing and be free, and who cares? And I kind of agree with some of that way of thinking as well, because I'll tell you, once I do start critiquing even my own work, or getting insight from other people, it does take some of that creative vibe out for me. But I try to remember that if we're going to work in any professional capacity, that's just going to happen. There's going to be an editor that doesn't like the way you're doing things. You're going to be faced with a set of decisions. Do I want to make the customers happy? Do I want to make the viewers happy? Do I want to make myself happy? Is that good long term, for my success? Things like that. Again, I think it requires a little bit of balance there. It's not as easy as just right or wrong. But the thing is that when I want constructive feedback, it's because I'm trying to grow. And so I took to a Facebook group, one of my favorites. It's howtodrawcomics.net. Great group. I suggest you join it. Share your artwork. Be ready for some harsh feedback and some uplifting feedback. I look at it like this. You're not going to get one without the other when you talk about social media groups and things like that. And you can't just accept the likes and the love and the happy vibes and then try to block everything else. I don't even think our brains work like that. It's almost like if you open the doors, it's all going to flood in. It's how you identify with it. It's how you use it. So when I showed this work and I said, look, I flipped it and the proportions were skewed, the face looked weird. And then people were like, yeah, I kind of see that. And a few were like, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. But what I do see is that the biceps are oddly positioned and sized in relationship to the shoulders, and the cheekbones look a little off, or the ear looks off was one of the comments. And I was like, oh wow, I didn't see those aspects. And again, that's the part I feel like we got to listen to, or else we're just kind of blinded by the fact. And I know I'm blinded because, again, as soon as I flip it, it's like an eye-opening experience for me. And I wish that wasn't the case. But I'll tell you what, I'm not going to let it discourage me and slow me down from drawing. In fact, I want to try to attack it head on proactively. And I don't know that I'll ever fix it, other than I can just try to draw in reverse on camera, things like that. OBS allows you to flip the video, which is pretty easy to do. So if you got a screen going and a camera, you're fortunate because you can actually see it in reverse, even traditionally. So instead of avoiding that and knowing that I'm going to make the mistakes, I need to just go into it head on. But again, the hard part for me, and maybe for you, and I'd love to know in the comments section below what you think about it, is it does take me, when I get too critical in my way of thinking, it siphons some of the feeling of creativity. So I don't know. Is that maybe that's a weakness? Maybe that's just me being a bit too easygoing on myself. Because you know what? Art is hard work. Drawing comic art is definitely hard work. When you talk to any professional that's done more than a book or done any books, but multiple books, they're going to tell you it's a lot of effort. It's a lot of sleepless nights. It's a lot of hard work. It's not as easy as just sitting here drawing a fan art piece of a character you like. I'm doing this for the channel, but at the same time, that's not even the best of habits. We all know that. You got to draw page work, you got to draw detailed backgrounds, you got to really put forth the effort. So you can see here now the work is flipped, and this is where I'm having those moments of like, oh my goodness, what have I done? I'm trying to fix things, and a very different part of the brain is kicked on, and I'm like, okay, how do I see this? And I'm like literally trying to see it even reversed, and that's what's crazy about it. And that's what tells me I have some development to do with my own work. So anyways, hopefully this video is informative for you and it helps you with something similar to this. I would love to know what you think. Again, good luck with your art, and I will talk to you soon.